What's up, YouTube? How y'all doing out there? What's happening? And want to give a shout out to Basketball Network because they definitely inspired this one. But I wanted to do my own spin on it. But it was something that Bill Laimbeer said, and that's why he sounds ridiculous about all that. How he be, uh, how he's up there champion LeBron James over Michael Jordan all the time. But this should put to bed about that Scottie Pippen nonsense about how Scottie was great because Laimbeer was quoted as saying it was only Jordan that we respected. We weren't worried about Scottie Pippen or Horace Grant. I thought I would mention that because Scottie and the gang with Horace and Luke Longley are on this tour trying to act like the Scottie was more important and Horace was crying and all that. And Laimbeer said, we devised the plan to stop Jordan. We didn't care about Pippen. See, I've been trying to tell folks all the time who would listen, who've been listening to Scottie's rhetoric and his, I don't know what he been hitting the bowl or hitting the scotch or something. I don't know what he been doing. But here in the Lulu world, but Laimbeer, who is a known, can't stand Jordan, said we were never worried about those two. We were never concerned about them. That is a diss track if there ever was one. Now, Isaiah Thomas is up here cheerleading for Scottie because that's why he's in the middle of it. But Laimbeer, who, who was like the Draymond Green of his day and time, because that's probably about the best analogy I could say, except he didn't dribble as well, leading the breaks per se, but he did all the dirt and he could shoot the little corner shot and antagonist, rebound, do the hustle plays. I guess that's how I would kind of spin it. But anyway, he came out and said we were never worried about Scottie Pippen. We never had him in our sights. He was not a problem. Neither was Horace Grant. He said it was all about Jordan or nothing. And I said, thank you for at least telling the truth about that. You've been capping about the other stuff, but at least you going to tell the truth about that. Because at the end of the day, it was about the Jordan rules. That's what Chuck Daly, that's what the Pistons devised. They weren't sitting around there worried about what Scottie Pippen was going to do. So when you hear all these people talking about, yeah, Scottie had an all-around game, but he was not that dude. They weren't sitting around there. I'm not going to say Scottie was stat padding because he really didn't. He played great defense. He was very athletic. He was flexible. He was versatile. But it wasn't like you were sitting there thinking about, oh, Scottie going to bust these cakes and we in trouble. Or Horace Grant going to bust these cakes and we in trouble. Because Horace, if you want to say, kind of underachieving, he was in a position where he could have looked a lot better than he was. And Scottie played great sometimes, and then sometimes he was like Humpty Dumpty. He'd be up, and sometimes he'd be down. And he was, But with Jordan, you had to always be ready for Jordan. And that's what Laimbeer didn't even want to admit, but he said a mouthful right there. Now, I ain't getting into no debates about who's great and all that, but think about it. When a team prepares for one man and they're worrying that he's going to run havoc, that should kind of tell you about dominance. There's only a handful of guys that I've seen in the last 30, 40 years that I could say you had to worry about that dude. Jordan's one of them. Shaq's one of them. I'd say Curry, Duncan, because Tim Duncan is the most, he'd tear your stat sheets up, and you had to be worried about what he was going to do. You can make a case in there for Kobe, but like when I think off the top for me, that those guys that you just know they could go off and you, and was Jordan, Shaq, Curry. So anyway, Laimbeer came out and said, we never were worried about Scottie Pippen. We never respected his game. So I hope that puts to bed because I already know. I saw the migraine. I saw, and I tell it all the time, I will give him a pass for his Houston Rocket career. Because Charles was old and out of shape, but that wasn't why they lost. They were old. Elijah, they were old. That was just somewhere to go. I give him a pass for that. But that mess in Portland in 2000, Game 7 in LA, you're about 15 in the fourth quarter, and you didn't finish. You win that series, you go and beat the Pacers, you beat Bird as a coach and Reggie and all that, and you go and you beat Shaq when Shaq was as great as anything you ever seen, and beat Phil on the 67 win team, and Kobe was a puppy, and you finished that off. And with Ron Harper over there too, and Horace Grant, and Glenn Rice, but he didn't. So that's why when people ask me where he rank all time, I said, well, he's in the 38 to 47 pile. He wins that. He's no less than 4 or 5 all time with 7 chips, but he ain't that dude. So I'm glad Laimbeer admitted what I've been saying because it's the truth. He was never that dude. Now, I give him his respect for being a sidekick and he was in pack, but all that talking about I was as good and I was this and all that, no. Defensively, yeah, using both your hands, but your inconsistency. And I told you before, if you really want to get the totality about Scottie Pippen, read Wilt Chamberlain's Who's Running the Asylum. I had that book back. I had that book for almost 30 years. He broke it down and he talked about Scottie not being a more prolific scorer. And if you're not a prolific scorer, I'm sorry. It has always been about putting some numbers up too. Because you can be a great defender. If you don't put no numbers up and he's inconsistent as all get out. So, but it was funny to hear Laimbeer say we never respected Scottie Pippen. We weren't worried about him. And that was and him or Horace Grant. I like that for so when they on this little tour, all this little talk, maybe they can sit up there with Phil King, Oprah's book club or something, and tell them lies and sell them tabloid stories because the eyeball test. No, it was all about 23. That was the truth. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like it. Hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out. Peace.